it generates XHTML. So you write Smalltalk inside, and it will generate the HTML for you. There is a callback-based request handling. So you use blocks in general to define the interaction with the user, and when the user do an interaction, it will execute the block to change the model and regenerate the interface. It's based on embedded components. So reusable components, you define your components and you can reuse them everywhere. And it has a model session management. It's a pretty great framework, but when we tried to use it, we found out that Seaside is cool, but it does not have a lot of brick on top of it. We needed to recode a lot of things. And it was not cool at that time, but in the end, we successfully migrated from the old interface to the new one, and we got some projects. And at the beginning of the year, I left Synectic, and I had some time, so I did a release of all our projects we did with Seaside, so that everyone can reuse them and do not spend time like us to record them. So I will present those projects to you today. So I will present Material Design Lite, Chart.js for Seaside, Telescope Cytoscape, and Prescott Displayer. So as I said, the first project we did was Material Design Lite. So when we began the interfaces, the first thing you need are some web components. Because HTML, pure HTML, it's not really nice, and you cannot sell it easily, so you need to use another thing. At that time there was Bootstrap, but we did not really like the look, and we decided to go with Material Design, that is a design standard begun by Google, and we did a binding of it for Seaside. So, Material Design Lite brings some web components that are graceful, light, and optimized. It's the core of the project, and you just use it with some Seaside brush to create your interface. So you have a lot of components going to buttons, to input fields, to cards, some chips. There is really a lot of things with that. So those things were described by Google and were easy to do, but we needed more. We needed also some more complex widgets. And so another part of the project is to have widgets that are with more behavior. So we created, for example, nested lists that are loaded dynamically because we are displaying sometimes millions of entities, and the application was really slow at the time, so we needed dynamic loading. There is some features like search in the list, etc. We have also a calendar or a widget a select widget, because it's hard to customize a real select input in HTML and things like that. So it's just Seaside components, so you can just use it like any other components in Seaside. You create a new one, you can customize it and use HTML render to use it. And a last part of this project we did was extensions. It's something really it's not described by Google standards, but We did some extensions in Synaptic Tools, and we wanted everyone to be able to use them, to not have to recode some things, and so we just put it in material design. So most of them are based on threads, and for example, you have a root dialog extension. We got some problems sometimes with Seaside when we were creating dialogues because they were not centered or things like that because they were nested in the HTML. So the root dialog is just an empty dialog we add at the base, at the root of the HTML, and we have some extensions in the Canva to just open it and render things with Ajax. We also have resizable left panel that were asked by customers, or resizable right panel with tabs. So you can just have tabs loadable with Ajax. We are currently releasing the version 1.3.0. It will bring Gemstone compatibility for most of it. We will not have compatibility for the extensions since it's based on threads, but for the web components and the widget, it will work. We also work on tests. We had 3% of coverage for tests, and now we are at more than 60%. And we did some cleanings, more demo, bug fix, etc. So here are the information. I think the slide will be uploaded on SlideShare, so you will be able to see them. It's just the repository, the script to load it in the image, etc. The second project we needed was a telescope for the web. We did software analysis, and most of our tools were based on visualizations in the Firebase interface. So we had Rasal, but for the web we needed something else, so we did this project. Telescope is a project to create meaningful visualizations. So with Telescope, you get some model to create visualization, and you do not work with visualization framework. And then you can render them with a connector to a visualization framework. So we had that with Rasal, and we just needed to create a web connector. So we choose Cytoscape.js as a framework, as a JavaScript framework for that. And also, maybe soon we will have a block connector too. So, Telescope is pretty simple to use. You just have to create a new visualization. You can add entities for the nodes. You can have some way to declare connections, so you can just directly connect some nodes, or you can use some property to do that, like here where we use string subclasses for the nodes, and we say, okay, just connect the entities to their superclass, etc. So with that, with Telescope, you can also easily customize the style of the visualization. There is a lot of things you can do, and also here you can directly customize with what you want, or you can also use blocks to customize entities depending on their properties.
Yeah. Are you generating PixMaps or SVG?
It's with Canvas in JavaScript. We have some layouts in Telescope. For now, there is not much of them, but it's pretty easy to add some. And if someone needs a new layout, you can just ask us. And so for now, we have linear layouts, and with some property to know when to go to the new line, and a circular layout and a tree layout. It was all the layouts we needed for our visualization. And the pretty cool part of Telescope is that you can have interaction also. So you can declare interaction on things like mouse over, or click, or right click, etc. And get some actions. So here, for example, when we click on a node, we create new nodes, and the layout directly puts them in the visualization. So, like material design, you have the information here to load it in your image and test it. We also add a dashboard in our old interface with charts, and we did to get them in the new one. So we did at that time a binding of Chart.js for Seaside. So we used the version 1 of Chart.js because at that time the version 2 was not out yet. I think it would not be that hard to bind the version 2 if someone needs, but for now this is only the version 2. So you can have different kind of charts, like one-dimension charts with a pie, a donut, or a kebab. You can also have two-dimension charts with a box plot or lines, etc. And we needed to get what the features we add in Faro, in the Faro interface. So we have callbacks on the charts. We can click on part of the charts and get directly callbacks with Seaside to do so, to move the user to a new interface if we need it, etc. We can also customize the style in the same way we customize the style in Telescope, because it uses the same framework to manage style. And we can bring some tooltips aware of the values, etc. So here are the information if you want to try it. And the last part we needed were to display code. Since we did software analysis, the user needed to see code at some times. So we decided to go with the Prism.js project that was already existing, and we did a binding of it. So here is how you use it. So you just have to create a Prism component to say to him, here is how you get your source code, the language for the highlighting, and he will display it in web with line numbers, etc. So it's pretty easy to use, and it also has some features. So for example, you can use some strategies to customize the CSS, because for example, sometimes we wanted to highlight duplicated codes. So we just had to say, okay, we have an entity, so just as to the entity the line number of the duplicated part, and you will add a CSS class, and in the CSS we display it in red for the user. And we also added some anchors with intervals. If the user wanted to navigate into the dependencies, he could just click on the functions, and he would go to this new entity. Since we had customers with really dirty code, we had customers that had classes of more than 16,000 lines of code. So it was pretty slow at the beginning, and we added dynamic loading for that. And since we had dynamic loading, we needed to recode a new search function, because the customer needed to check the code, find what he needed, etc. You can also have an option to copy the code when the user clicks on it. and menus. You can select a piece of code, right-click, and get a menu with, and in Faro you will have a callback with the selection directly. So, once again, the informations. And now I will just show you a little the interfaces we did with all those projects in the end. So here is the final projects we did with all those projects. So we have, for example, a dashboard that uses material design and the charts with Chart.js. You can, for example, use the callback system to directly click on it and get more information on the entities that were concerned by the charts. We use Telescope, for example, here to create some visualization, and you can interact with them to navigate into the application and your entities. And here is an example of usage of Prism to display the code. So that's it for me. If you have questions, let's go. Yeah?
I love this. It's very nice. Someone who just asked me yesterday, why should I use any dialect of Smalltalk with Seaside as the full stack development? So I would like to show them something like this. Is there a demo or YouTube video or anything like that?
No, there is not, but maybe I can do one if you wish after a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get in touch. Thank you.
Yeah?
Is it Seaside 3.1, 3.2?
It's the latest Seaside, but I think it would work with previous Seaside. I think we do not use features from latest one, so it should work with them. Yeah.
Does this all work in Gemstone Seaside as well or not?
The material design light part will work on Gemstone with the next version. For the other projects, I don't know yet because no one asked me to make it work on Gemstone, but I think it will not be that hard. Maybe a little harder for Telescope because we use threads on some parts, but it's not a lot of threads, so I think we can just flatten them and use it on Gemstone. Yeah?
I just have a comment on Jerry's question. How to sell Smalltalk, especially with the help of Seaside, I find, is that people are blown away once you show them live debugging a server. They usually can't do that. And then you can add something on top of it, because this was Gemstone then, or even you can do the Seaside too, persisting the step trace, so you can actually debug a web session 3 months later. And I wonder, I know that Norbert Hartl used this, and others maybe somebody can pull off a video about this, because this is really where Smalltalk and Seaside are way different.
Yeah.
Much more productive.
Yeah, I agree. At the university, I had to do group projects and with web interfaces, and I succeeded to convince other friends to try Seaside, and it's one of the things I show to them. Okay, here I get a bug, but here I get a debugger also, and it's also for productivity. I think with Seaside, I did a project at the university with Java and JavaScript, and the next year with Seaside, and we were really much faster with Seaside. Okay, so thank you for your attention.